Hey, it's time for Q&A for 2016, and let's get started. The first question comes in response to the video I just posted about moving from Google Apps to Microsoft Office 365. It comes from Orca Flota, not sure how you pronounce that. Why, God, why? Microsoft Shakedown Office Money Printer? Ever heard of LibreOffice? It's even 99.9% Microsoft Office compatible, but nobody would need such a morally questionable software anyway. Well, that is pretty harsh, pretty hardcore. I can't think of a major corporation out there that probably hasn't done something morally questionable. Now, as a red, white, and blue capitalist, I personally see nothing wrong with the company producing a product that people adapt and are willing to pay for. I've had already several people comment on using open source software in my business. I thought I made it clear in the video that most of the organizations that I deal with, particularly U.S. government, I deal with financial institutions, hospitals, etc., manufacturing, they live in the Microsoft world. I have to do a lot of scheduling of meetings and that kind of thing, a lot of calendaring stuff, and thus a real need for Exchange, and Outlook is a client for Exchange that works absolutely beautifully. Trying to cobble together open source solutions. I already use Microsoft or Google Apps for work, and it's not cutting it for me on the calendaring end of things, as well as formatting of certain documents. I don't understand. I mean, I get the point that people are trying to be helpful by suggesting open source stuff, but I'm in a very Microsoft-centric world, and I've been going against the herd for some time on this, and I've decided this is the best course of action for me. I'm not, I'm in the business to make money, and I'm going to use the best possible tools that I can afford. All right, the next question is also comes from my last video about this change to Microsoft Office 365, and it's from KCIRD Lab. It says, I know this is business related and that OneDrive is encrypted for enterprise, but would you recommend OneDrive or Dropbox for consumer? As I understand, OneDrive is not encrypted for regular consumers. Dropbox, hands down, without question. OneDrive is not that good, especially in sync, keeping your files in sync. I'm not a big OneDrive fan. It just happens to be part of the Office 365 subscription. So without hesitation, definitely Dropbox over OneDrive. Next question comes from Tyler Yacanero. I think I might have asked a question before for Tyler. I'm not sure. What do you think of the new AMD RX 480? Do you think it will change the graphics card market? Well, first off, I love the whole concept of the RX 480. I love the price point. I think it's super that AMD is concentrating more in the mid-range card as opposed to the high-end stuff, putting affordable technology in the hands of people that want to experiment or work with VR. 1440p gaming is excellent on it. You can apparently do some 4K gaming, but it's not going to be that great of an experience on this card. They're going to, of course, have more powerful cards, but that $200 market and coming out first in that market speaks volumes of where AMD knows where its bread and butter is at. And of course, it's based on, I think, the 14 nanometer chipset. The whole architecture of it, I think, is a very good alternative to Team Green, especially if you like AMD products. I'm very much considering using one of these new boards, probably not the 480. It might be something a little bit more powerful, but I absolutely like it. I think it's great piece of hardware, and is priced. And I think, to me, in my mind, on the marketing of this board and the market that they're trying to appeal to, big thumbs up on that one. Okay, the next question comes from Dylan Chatterton. What is that extension next to the like and dislike button in your YouTube comments? It is a extension called TubeBuddy, and TubeBuddy is a really awesome thing for content creators to have. It allows you to search for keywords and phrases for your YouTube videos, making your videos much more discoverable on YouTube search, because YouTube is like the second biggest search engine out there, right behind Google, and rightfully so. And it gives you suggestions, help on tagging videos, where you're at in certain keywords and results. So it's an excellent tool for content creators. Highly recommended. Another question also from Dylan Chatter. This is in relation to a video I did about when passion isn't enough being a content creator. And I mentioned Chris Pirillo. In his channel, he's very active, posts a lot of content, but his overall subscriber base keeps declining, which is an indicator, in my humble opinion, that the market for the content that he is putting out in general on there isn't matching up with the audience that he had that got him up to 350,000 subs. Who writes, do you mean, and when I talk about a subscriber base going down, it says, do you mean the rate which subscribers are subbing to Chris are decreasing, slowing, or is his actual subscriber number, is it actually going down? I have a hard time seeing it being the latter, but if you take what you said as face value, that is what you're saying. That is what I'm saying. The actual number of subscribers are decreasing. And how did I know this? Well, there's a site you can go to called Social Blade, and you can type in the channel name in there, and you can see all the stats on the channel, the number of views, subs, daily basis. You can look at forecasts, how many subs are going to grow. It's and estimated revenue is on there. So if you're curious about your favorite content creator and how their channel is doing, you can go to Social Blade, and when you look up Locker Gnome, which is Chris Pirillo's name of his actual channel is Locker Gnome, you can see that he is in the negative for subscriber growth, and that was the proof of that comment. Okay, this is a comment, it's actually a question. Came in from my last episode of Talking Microsoft. It's from Michael Clancy. He says, "Hi Bruce, have you thought about turning the audio of your videos as a podcast? There are not that many terrific Microsoft-focused podcasts. You could be one of them." That's interesting. I actually tried my hand at podcasting for quite some time. I did a podcast called Business Computing Weekly, and it was a lot of work, and it did okay, but not great. But I would certainly consider turning this into a podcast if the market for it is there. Now remember, I'm not doing this to actually make a living off all this. This is a hobby. And right now I'm in a transition period in my life where I'm concentrating more and more and more on work than I am able to put into YouTube. But this being the 4th of July weekend and all, I had some time to sit in front of the camera and record these videos. By the way, speaking of that, I am using an adapter, a wide-angle lens adapter on a Panasonic Lumix FZ200. I'm not using my new Sony AX53. I decided to try this out because it gives you a nice wide shot. You will notice a little bit of lens barrel distortion or fisheye effect on this, and that's probably got to do with aberrations in the lens. This is not, I think, all that uncommon when you attach a wide-angle lens adapter to a fixed lens like I have on the Lumix, but it's not terrible, but it allows me to sit closer to the microphone. I can actually, touch the microphone, but yet you get a nice wide shot. So yeah, and we're going to see how this works out for these type of videos. I don't know. And finally, the last question is from Eddie Espinoza. This is in regards to the video I did about dumping the desktop PC for a laptop. And Eddie wants to know, would an external GPU solution be viable for you, as well as for gaming at home, or would that be overkill? That's a great question. So as you know, there's new models of laptops coming out that support Thunderbolt 3, and Thunderbolt 3 supports setting up an external GPU in like a separate closure. Razer has it, Alienware has it, there's maybe even a few others that do, and you can put in your video card of choice like a NVIDIA GTX 1080, something like that, and then connect via Thunderbolt, and now you can game using that high-end card. that's not a bad solution if you're a really hardcore gamer. I, on the other hand, am more of a casual gamer. So I think either the laptop will probably be powerful enough to play the PC games that I want to play at a playable resolution and frame rate without this adapter. Plus, I'll probably end up with the new Xbox, the 4K version that comes out in 2017, or the PS4 version, which also they'll be coming out later on down the road. So at this point, I'm probably leaning more towards the Xbox. I don't know what they're going to call it. We have the new Xbox S coming out, but this 4K Xbox is probably what I'm leaning towards in the future. But that is a viable option if you're really interested in hardcore gaming and have the best possible frame rates and all that, but still have that mobility. You could have this, like, it's not really a docking station, I'm not sure what you call it, but this device that would connect at home or at your dorm or whatever, and then take your laptop with you during the day. That may not be a bad idea. It'd be interesting to get your thoughts down below. And that's it for this month's Q&A. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.